Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss a Don't Bettor, roll wreckers, Aria, hitting chips. We also touch on the Rio, off-strip tables, Von Miller, dice sets, Sir Francis Drake, and the only reason Ed plays the game. Ed, what's happening, man?
Man, I'm good. How you doing? You looking spry?
Oh, really? I was tired. I had a little long night last night at Aria.
Oh, no.
Yeah, broke even last night. But man, what a battle. Ed, I got into it at the table.
You got into it with like fisticuffs?
A fucking Don't Bettor, dude. Classic scenario. You want to hear about it?
Yeah, let me find my cigar. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Good seeing you.
You too, man. I'm going to lean back and let you tell me about getting into it with a Don't Bettor.
So last night, bought in. I haven't played at Aria in a minute. So
Yeah.
I bought in for 10,000, which is my comfort zone. First two rolls were not great. They were not good at all. One of them was a PSO. Okay.
That would make a Don't Bettor happy.
No, one was a 3-roller but there was no Don't Bettor there yet. Okay. It was a 3-roller, then a 2-roller. And then I was like, it wasn't going well there. So I switched tables and over to a table. I can't wait for you to actually be at Aria. I'm going to point out there's 3 specific tables that I actually like to play that I've had epic rolls on.
Even with the boing, boing, boing.
Yeah, even with the
Boing.
sizable rolls. Aria's still it's one of my favorite places to play. Even with the boing, 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 I've still had some really solid, strong rolls there. Yesterday was it was a close one. So check it out. I decided I was moving tables. It wasn't one of the 3 tables
Okay.
that I usually.
Good decision.
So then I saw an opening, except it was stick left 2. So I walked over there. I took the remaining chips that I had. I was down a lot, Ed. I was down a lot. A lot. Okay. I was down a lot. All right.
All right.
I'm still in a process of, I want to get a little more comfortable betting bigger. Starting off my bets at a little bigger level, like 600s instead of 300s, because I wanted to run my 6s and 8s, 600, pay 700. I'm going to take down 1,000.
Dude, I'm coming to Vegas in less than 2 weeks. Don't be broke when I get there.
I will not. And then after that first hit, drop down to 3. The next hit, I'm going to then take 500 off of that. After that second hit, I'll have it at 150. So it's more like start high, get down low. Anyway, that was the plan. Play a little bigger tonight, right? But I'm still conservative. I won't go like on every number, but if the sets are giving me what I think they're going to give me, which is I have the set that I've been shooting, which is a 2-1-3-2. For me, it gives me a lot of 6s and 8s. Okay. 2-1-3-2.
I know the set.
Yeah. Well, it didn't give me a 6 or 8.
Probably gave you horns.
It gives me horns and 6s and 8s. A lot of 3s too, but it gave me a 7. Okay.
Yeah, they'll do that
I
too.
had never thrown that set at Aria.
Well, was it a 5-2?
Yeah. I threw 5 2s. Mm-hmm.
Your 7s were 5-2s.
Yes. Yeah. That's what you're going to get.
You're a single pitcher off.
Yep. So
But that's it.
I ended up going over to this other table.
You still got money left?
Yeah, I got money left. I think I had like 3,000. I was down, dude. I was down big. Yeah, I know. And then, so then I stayed at this table. Man, I just didn't get the good vibe that I wanted. And I was stick left 2, and it was too far away, and I didn't want to I just didn't want to even take this shot. So I saw one of my top 3 tables open up. So I went to that one. I've hit them all there at that table. Dude, there were 2 people at that table. Perfect setup. Okay. Perfect setup. There was a guy at stick right 1, and there was some guy at a straight out on the left side. And the dude looked like Von Miller. Do you know who Von Miller is? Dude, he was cool, man. Von Miller, his name was Bo. Man, this guy was huge. He had a cowboy hat. He had kind of like a off-white cowboy hat, and he was wearing a buttoned-up shirt.
Do you see that do you see that at the bottom when I do this?
Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah. He was cool. So I was like, where are you from? He was like, Texas. Where? Houston? because there was an H on a shirt. And he's like, no, Dallas. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I ended up getting the dice relatively quick. And dude, I had a roll. Okay. I essentially rolled back almost all of it was like a $7,000 roll, six something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cleaned off the small, knocked that out
Mhm.
in short order. I got my 10 up to 1,500.
Yeah. Starting at,
Oh, I started at 200.
okay.
You know what set I used? Because the other ones weren't working. So my go-to sets, by the way, Aria, and I'll tell you, they've always seemed to work consistently, has been a 6-4-3-2. They don't work at other tables, but they seem to work on this bouncy table.
Boing, boing, boing.
Boing, boing. It's a 4-2-6-2. These two sets have performed really well for my throw on these tables. It's the only set that Howard taught me or showed me.
Yeah.
And it's sort of one of my top sets that I just go to when I'm having other sets are not getting results that you think you'd get. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go with this one because I've been thinking about pressing up the 4s and 10s. Let's go for it because the set should hit 4s and 10s. That's what it's made for. So anyway, it did. First throw was a 10. I'm like, okay, cool. Next throw was an easy 4. Okay, awesome. This is going to be good. I just kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and building up and taking down. And all of a sudden I was almost even, dude. Almost even. And I was in a zone. It was awesome. I'm like, fuck, man, this is talk about sticking with it. This is a perfect setup. Ed, it's me, Von Miller, and then some other guy who's just good vibes. You know, he's just one of those guys, just got some chips in his rack. So all I need is the 12. Okay.
What do you do? Go around? Do you just go around and introduce yourself? Hi, I'm 10 Ton. What's your name? Because I never know that. I never know anybody's names.
If someone's near me, I have a good feeling about them. I'll always ask. I was thinking, man, we should keep track we should have a thing like friends at the table, dude, that we meet because I don't talk to everyone, but you know, I'll talk to.
Yeah, man, you got Von Miller, you got Bo,
Bo was cool, and his name was Bo, so that was cool just because of our Bo. Dude, this old guy the other day, he also from Texas. He walked up right next to me. You would have liked this guy. He walks up and he's like, how's the table? The fact that he's like, how's the table? I'm like, all right. And so I told him, he's like, I used to stay here like 40 years ago. This is an old dude, right?
Yeah.
I could tell, like, oh, where are you from? You know, he's like, Texas. I'm like, where? What part? San Antonio. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I've been to San Antonio. And so then we started talking. And then I said, oh, what's your name? It's John. People call me Bushwhacker.
Bushwhacker. All right.
I was like, Bushwhacker. I'm 10 ton, right? And he just loved that. He just knew. He knew that me introducing myself as 10 ton was like normal, which was like, okay, he is deep in this. And we were talking about tables at Caesars here. And I said, okay, well, this table's been choppy and blah, 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 blah. It was cool, man. I gave him a chip because I carry around chips. I'm like, listen, if you can figure this out, I'm thinking at your age, if you could figure this out, you scan this and email me, but give me your number. So when he split, I got his number and I texted him. I didn't hear back from him. I don't know if it's going to be one of those, if he even can handle that tech hurdle. Yeah. Anyway, Bushwhacker, though, what a name, huh?
Great name. Yeah. Good drink. It's a good drink, too.
There's a lot of people. Craps is kind of big in Texas, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's real big in Texas.
Seems like a lot of people from Texas are into craps.
And there's no craps tables. There's no legal craps tables in Texas, but they're all on the border. They're all like Louisiana, Oklahoma. I was listening to that old episode that I'm trying to edit, and we were talking about the hop betters from Houston. Remember that? You remember that? Maybe.
Hop betters from Houston. You meet a lot of people like Rudy that you don't know at the table. Yeah. It's cool. Some of the people that you end up meeting, you just know that they're craps players. Whereas it's nice meeting those people that are craps players. Okay, so I just need the 12 ad. This went from near disaster to I would be up, you know, probably up $8,000 if I can just nail this 12. I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait till I hit my point till I go for the 12. I'm not going to rock the boat. I'm not going to do anything. But then all of a sudden, some dickweed literally buys into the table. This hasn't happened in a long time to me yet. Guy throws down $1,000 in cash. Maybe it was 1,800, something like that. I just remember looking over and there's cash on the table. And then I look up at the floor guy and the stick. I'm like, why'd you let this guy buy in? I was pissed. And Von Miller wasn't too happy either. And I'm just kind of mouthy at this point because I'm a little grumpy. Ed, if you ever see me mouthy and in a bad mood, I will like talk and talk at you, chirp, right? And I'm like, dude, why'd you buy in? Why'd you buy in? And then I was like, why'd you let him buy in? Then I find out he's a don't better. Okay. Flops his chips down. So it wasn't like one chip, it was multiple chips taking up my entire landing zone. I put down the dice and I'm like, dude, and I give him this hand movement, right?
Yeah.
What do you say you scoot those chips over? He just looked at me. So, and this guy was a big guy. Then it was a thing, Ed. It was a confrontation.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to move my chips. And I was like,
so obviously you had made your point. This was a come out roll.
I had made my point and I was going to go for the 12 at that time.
Yeah.
I looked up and then there was money on the table and he had bought in. Okay.
Yeah.
What I did, I asked him to move his chips. He would not move his chips. He just stared like a dick. Do you know what I mean? Like pretended he didn't hear me. Right.
Yeah.
Then said to the stick, you can move my chips if you want, or tell the stick. And I did. I was like, I don't know what he was meaning. So I'm like, hey, move his chips. Right. I said, can you move his chips? And they're like, we can't move his chips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, move your chips. And then the other guy at stick right one was like, he just wants you to move your chips over here. Just move your chips a little. So he didn't. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I had 1,500 on the 10. And I said to Von Miller, Bo, I was like, listen, dude, I'm taking down all my bets right now. This isn't cool. And I'm just taking it down. And I reduced them all down to like $50, put it all back in my rack. I said, and by the way, I'm just going to shoot for the 12. And he's like, you do your thing, you know? And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So I did a 1-4-1-2 set, Ed, a set that you showed me that usually hits everything hard ways for me when it's on. That includes midnight and aces. As it would have it, I didn't and threw a hard 10.
As soon as you come down, I know you're coming down. I know you're going to throw a 10. I mean, I knew you were going to say you threw a 10.
And I had some money on that hard 10 too, as well. So,
okay, good.
But I wasn't working on that. You know, I wasn't working on that because I was coming. So anyway, I said, listen, dude, I'm still going to go for the 12. And then as it would always happen, Ed, my toss was a little too far. I was just trying to get it past those chips. My toss sailed a little to the right instead of straight down the center, clipped his chip, 7 out.
Yeah.
And then we started talking.
Oh, now we're going to have. Did you hit him in the? Did you punch him in the goozle?
Dude, I wanted to punch him right in the goozle, dude. So then, and this guy was a big guy. And then I went over to him. I went over to that side. I said, you know what you did was wrong, right? You know what you did was wrong. He's not even looking at me. Back at stick left one, leaning in. I said, hey, dude, I said, how old are you? What are you, 40, 50? How old are you? You know exactly what you did. You was wrong. Coming to the table and doing that. But he wouldn't look at me. He was such a fucking little bitch. But he was a big little bitch, right? And then the floor actually told me to calm down. And I'm like, why should I calm down? Like, why should I calm down? You guys let him buy in on an epic roll. You should never have let this guy just throw his thing down and buy in on a roll like that from me, who's a player here, to some guy like this. And I'm saying all this stuff while that guy's still here. Because I'm like, fuck this guy. I got Von Miller right here that I know is like, is massive. Von Miller's pissed too. He is not happy about what just happened because it was all good vibes until this guy comes around. So moral of the story, little bitch boy picks up his little don't chips that he won with and left.
Of course he did.
And he crawled off. He slithered off to another table because that's what those don't bettors. Listen, there's nothing wrong with don't bettors, but Ed, there's a type of don't better. They're the slither kind, right? Like you've seen it. I've been at the one at Bellagio.
I've been one of them, dude.
Oh man, dude. So these guys that come up to a table and just bet the don't for like 1 or 2 players, and then they slither away.
Oh no. I mean,
then they slither away to another table.
But I will do anything if I'm on the don'ts. I'll go, hey, stick. How many letters are in Harris?
What?
How many letters are in Harris? Hey, stick. How many letters?
7?
Yep.
No, nice.
How about Caesars? You know how many letters are in Caesars?
Man, don't
7.
tell me these things. Really? Aria.
Yep.
4. Okay, that's good.
But now you're just fucking with whoever's.
See, that's a different story. When a don't better comes into a domain, remember when I was a do better and
I
I
remember when you went into one of at Paris, wasn't it?
yes, you're
Where
correct,
you
sir.
went in and there was a don't better already, and you're like, I went into his table.
And I respected his don't, you know, thing that he had set up. It was like he
Yeah.
was all kumbaya with the
Yeah.
dealer. I realized that I was the interloper. And this guy, and they allowed this guy that it was too
They're
like,
gonna if he throws the money down, they got no choice but to take it usually.
yeah, but that's happened to me over. I told you, remember at Horseshoe, where they were like, you can't, or they would have done it in a way where it wouldn't have interrupted the roll so much. There are good
Yeah.
crews that can do it like that, and they know that you're on a good roll. I mean, dude, I was on a really great roll. It was so solid, and I'm gunning for like I've got potentially a lot of money if I can hit that 12. It's a shame it was a 12 because I couldn't lay it, which would have been I was already. I think my other number was it was a 5. It was a 5 and 12. And then I'm like, I hope I hit the 12 so I can lay the 5. I knew
Yeah.
immediately I was going to lay the 5 for 3 grand. Like, well, I was going to lock up 2 no matter what with a potential to win 6.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, then he slithers off right after that combo. And then I see him just slithering off with his beer, going to another table to probably do the same thing, drop his measly whatever it is and do that. I would expect someone to at least say something back to me. He didn't even say anything back to me. Do you know what I mean? He knows he's just like one of those. Dude, those are the dregs of the craps community. Those people, they need to be eradicated.
You should have put Bushwhacker on him.
Dude, I wish Bushwhacker was there. So that's a different type of don't better, dude. You know, there's some don't betters that just like that's a different scenario. I'm all for you being you if you're a don't better. Cool. If you're there and I come up to the table, but I still feel like there's a way to be a don't better. There's like a cool way, maybe not necessarily straight out and spread out your chips right in someone's landing zone. Maybe you don't do that, but maybe you're a little more like conscious, respectful of the fact that you're like coming in with these bad vibes. There was a dude, these guys, dude, it reminded me of this guy at Bellagio who did the same thing. And then you can watch them, if you had a camera, they go from table to table to table, like bringing that like a pig pen. You know what I mean? Bringing that like bad energy over there. They're the worst, dude. They're the worst. I mean, it's okay to, I guess it's all based on context. It's no problem. I've tried betting, being a don't player. I mean, Secret Asian man, he bets the don't. He bets the don't, but then he makes a lot of place bets on top of it, which is fine.
Probably good that the don't player kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, I can't believe he kept his mouth shut because
I mean, that shows that he's probably a seasoned don't player. If he'd just been a little touristy dickwad, he'd have, y'all would have ended up in the back room in jail.
yeah, he's a professional.
I'm not saying he's a professional, but yeah, maybe that. But
he knew what
he
was
knew
doing.
what he knew exactly. They look when that happens, they know. But at least you turned your bets off.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. And then
Now,
hit his chips. I was so focused on trying to get that 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any money really on the table at that point. Fuck, I went to that table down 7 grand, made it all back really quick, and two good rolls, man.
Yeah, and left money on the table.
Yeah, I was just taking that money like a little squirrel, dude, and just taking those things and put them in my rack. And I'm like, here's another 1,000, here's 500, now here's another, and it's like, boom, thank you very much. Here's this, and I was just like squirreling away, dude. My cheeks were full. I had all those chips in them. I was happy, man. That was happy. I'm excited to go play Aria with you.
Well, you want me to get in a fight?
No, you're not going to get in any fight, but I wonder what you would have done. You would have probably laughed. You probably would have laughed at the shit that I was saying.
I'm sure I would have.
Yeah.
I sure I would have. I'd have started talking about goozles or something. Just make you laugh.
Yeah. First time that floor has ever told me to calm down.
You must have been pretty rowdy, dude.
I was, man. You would have been pissed too. You would have been pissed. More so, but the fact that like the whole energy got interrupted, man.
Yeah. He did it on purpose.
I had a clear zone. I was in the zone and I was taken out of the zone by a fucking dickhead. I was taken out of the zone for no good reason because this guy was just thinking about himself. That's it. Just thinking about himself and not conscious of going up to a
Was
table
he it straight out?
straight out.
Why didn't you hit him in the head with the dice?
I don't know, man. That, you know what? I guess I've never done that. Maybe I should have, right?
Yeah, man, you can always let him slip and just hit him. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I was shooting for your chips. I tell you what I like, though. One of the funnest things to do is like, I mean, he had like eight black chips out there or something.
Yeah. So it wasn't just like a one chip.
So he had like 4 lines of 2 or 2 lines of 4 high or whatever.
Three and then three on top, like laid on its side. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, he had, no, that's odds. All right. So he put he had, I don't know, maybe $200 lay bet
There were like
or
seven chips out
$200.
there.
Yeah. So he had laid odds on whatever your point was. If they were kind of laid out beside it, I mean, that's what you do. That's how you have to play it. And you have to, when you're playing odds on the don'ts, you have to move, your odds have to go towards the dealer. That's the rule.
Yeah, he could have moved those, or the dealer could have moved them. There was no
No,
one.
I mean, it depend if he's on that little bitty tiny box at the very end. I mean,
There's not a lot of room there.
no, there's not. And so, depending upon your number, I mean, he could have, if it was a 4 or 10, he could have bridged them, but that would have made them higher. You probably don't know what bridging is, but I mean, he could have bridged them. That's where you stack, and then you put another stack on top.
Or he could have just moved, slid down,
He's
or
a
he could
don't
have
player.
not bought in, or
I
he
mean,
could have just.
well, yeah, but he's all right. Look, all right, if you're a don't player, let's look at it from his side for a moment. This is just good, just conversation. I'm not picking sides or anything here.
If
Right?
you were betting on that, Ed, and you had a lot of fucking money up there on the, and you had your place bets up there,
I'd have
which
hit
you
him
would
right
have.
between the eyes with the dice.
Well, if you were just betting on me while and you were at that table,
I would have had to turn my bets down. I mean, because if I'm not shooting and I'm betting on you and you're in this epic nice roll and y'all are already getting into all this hot flash stuff going on, then I'm going to just turn off and just let it play out. Well, I'd probably come down to zero. I'd probably just say all the way down. Because I mean, you had $1,500 on the 10.
I know, dude.
Why leave 50? I mean, I'm just like, screw it. But who knows? In-game decisions again. So, but he's probably been standing there watching you throw for a long time. You made your point.
I don't know if he was. I didn't know
I
if
mean,
he just came out
he
of
might have been
nowhere.
behind you watching. I know he come out of nowhere. He might have been charting you and going, okay, this guy's thrown a long time. He's made it. As soon as he makes his point, I'm going to buy in and plop a big dump down because sevens do.
I don't think I would not give that guy that much credit, dude. This guy is one of those like it's like a creature, dude. He's like a craps like slithering scum that inhabit like the craps pits, dude. This is another type of human being.
Well, at least you gave him a piece of your mind, and you're probably going to get treated rough at the Aria next time you go down
I
there.
will not, dude. They love me down there, man. I'm telling you, man. That's the trash of the fucking craps world. Those players. I'm telling you, I've seen that type before, man, at Bellagio, and it was the same thing. Oh, he slithered away to that table. And then you watch again, and then you see him slithering over to another table, putting down his don't bets. Those guys. I'll come up with a word for these people. So yeah, man, I'm just not. My whole energy is just more positive in general. I'm not a don't anything. I'm a doer.
I hear you. What are you drinking there in that big old plastic bottle?
Suja. It's a organic.
You always got something different every week.
Yeah.
Every time, every show. Do you go to the?
I'm gonna crack open right now this Ardor energy drink, and I got it because it's got a cool. This is caffeine, L-theanine, and caffeine.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Vanilla blackberry is what sold me on it. That looks good, doesn't it?
Well, that L-theanine and caffeine, that's what's in that gum that you like too.
Man, this would be great one day if we got a sponsor.
By the way,
Go ahead.
this morning,
Mm-hmm.
I went up there by my coffee pot and I picked up that bottle and I said,
Of what?
I'm going to open it. I'm going to open this up.
The bottle of ginkgo biloba?
You just said it wrong.
What is it? Ginkgo biloba.
No,
What is it? How do you say it?
biloba.
Is is it biloba?
It is biloba.
Biloba. I don't know, man.
Ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo biloba. I like Ginkgo bilboa. All right.
I
We're gonna
like
change the
Rocky.
name.
Ginkgo
Ginkgo
Balboa.
balboa.
But it's biloba.
Biloba. Yeah, all
Yep.
right. So
I was corrected by someone that we both know
who?
yesterday. Who do you
Who?
think? Justice Jen.
Oh, really? I'd go with a
Yeah.
lawyer. I'd go with the lawyer.
I'm going to go with if Justice Jen says it's billable, I'm just going to say it's billable.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose your battles with Justice Jen just because of her profession ingrained in her.
Smart and stubborn, just like most lawyers.
She is correct, sir.
I'm going to say she's correct.
Yeah. But we can just pronounce it Rocky Balboa, Ginkgo Balboa.
Well, I mean, I like Rocky Balboa or
Yeah.
Ginkgo Balboa.
At least we know we're very wrong.
Yeah, but we're wrong on now we're wrong on purpose.
Yeah, because it just sounds
has a
better.
whole new meaning.
Yeah, it just sounds better. It's funnier.
Like a shirt, dude.
Yeah, I like it, Ed. Plaid. What do you got your you got your duds to come out to Vegas?
This is you will see me in this shirt in Vegas.
Nice, man. You got some are you all packed? It's like 2 weeks away.
No, I'm not packed, but you know, I lost a lot of weight, so all my old crap shirts didn't fit, so I got to get these new crap shirts broke in.
Oh, nice, man. Nice.
Been working on the repeater bet tonight, working on the ATS tonight.
Nice. Man, what set would you have gone for if you needed that 12, man? Because I was I was a cross 6 set.
Well,
I know that's a tough thing because you don't know the table, but if you just had to generally, like, what would be your go-to universal, I need to throw a 12?
No, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what I've been hitting. I mean, as the set that I've been using gives me what I'm supposed to get, so then I can change. I mean, it's going to be a cross 6 variant of some type.
Yeah.
Most likely. But, you know, in my own axis, off axis, you're probably at least one die off axis all the time on Mr. Boing, Boing, Boing table. So,
hell yeah.
You know, so then a traditional cross 6 would not give you that 12. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You have to have for example, a 5-4, 5-6, or a 4-6, 4-5, something like that. That would have one of them on axis, one of them off axis. Try to hit it, I guess. Because I'll use those for horn numbers a lot on crapless.
So Ed, actually, when I hit the aces, we should go back and talk about this. What I call the term the happy accident.
You had a happy accident.
It was.
And nobody got pregnant. That's when you have a happy accident. So nobody got pregnant.
Yeah. Although the aces showed up, and that was like instrumental in clearing out that side. Obviously, I hit right at the base of the wall and the deck.
Yeah.
And it just like scattered, and it was aces. And I'm like, happy accident.
Yeah.
Error on the toss. And that is a happy accident. That's awesome when that happens.
Yeah. Every long roll has luck in it. You don't have to have luck to have a 7 roll, but to have upper teens, 20, 30 roller, whatever, roll for an hour, there's going to be numerous little luck things that happen because you can't be that perfect as a human.
No, and it's not like I'm ever just like, oh, I'm gunning for the ATS. I'm never doing that. It all of a sudden comes into focus, you know, like obviously I'm going for the, you know, your main numbers, you know, all the box numbers. And then it's usually on a happy accident that all of a sudden I then say, okay, there's a chance now. There's a chance, like this is real. And then it's once you hit aces or midnight, to me, it becomes like ding, 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 alarms. This can actually happen now. But it's never where I'm really trying to get shooting for aces, or I'm not really at all right now at this point. I've got certain sets like that one that we talked about in the beginning, the 2-1-3-2. I know that hits horn numbers, but it also hits a lot of 6s and 8s for me. So things come into focus, man, right? When you're throwing, and then your vision is changing, you know?
I throw a similar set to that. It's not quite the same sometimes.
What is it?
2-3-1-2.
Oh, yeah.
It's very close.
It's very close. It's almost reversed and upside down.
Yeah. And you would probably do better with my set than yours. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Let's check it out when we go roll.
I call that my Circa set. You ever play on the Circa tables?
Like Luxor, they're too long
and bouncy.
I don't like throwing on.
Back when I played them, they're very long and they're very bouncy.
So I have not been back there in a very long time because it's just too far.
I murdered that table with that set. That's why I call it the Circa set.
Nice, man. So Ed, don't you think like happy accidents, man? Those things are. It would have been a happy accident if I hit that guy's chip and it wasn't a 7. I would have said I got away with one. That's how my brain works. I would have been like,
yeah,
that's a happy accident. I got lucky because I smacked his chip. But I did smack his chip and it was a 7. To me, I believe in that. I think it happens way too much. I know you don't necessarily believe in that, but I think you hit someone's chips and it just, I don't know why. I'm like dodged a bullet. If I hit someone's chips and it isn't a 7, I'm expecting a 7 when I hit someone's chips. Is that crazy? It's not crazy.
I'd have probably tried to land them right on top of them.
Yeah, maybe. I guess so. But I mean, what complicated it was that I was really caring about trying to get that 12.
You were mad. You were too mad.
That 12 was $9,000 and it would have made the night an epic night. Man, Ed, you would have liked that roll.
I would have shot for the point. Instead of the 12, because I've already got into this guy and I'm already mad at him. So I'm going to make him leave by trying to knock him off the point.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And if the 12 happens, it happens. But that's probably what I'd have done. I probably would have shot for the point.
You're probably right. I had taken down my bet, so I was just like, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go for this. And
you did a good thing. You did the right thing.
At least I did that right thing, but it's a shame that had to happen.
It's part of craps.
Yeah, I know, man. It's these people. It's like poachers that don't have a...
They don't have a license. He didn't have a license. You should have issued him a citation on the spot.
I never would have allowed that guy to have a license. That guy should not be allowed to play craps ever, anywhere, in any casino. He shouldn't be, man. They're a disgrace to the game, in my opinion, Ed. It's already hard enough. Now we have to deal with other human beings fucking it up, making it,
I can tell you stories, but I don't. Do we want to talk about don't players?
No, Ed, here's what I want to talk to you about. Okay.
Oh, there's actually something to talk about?
Yeah.
Like what?
Okay. Oh, I was thinking about this out today. All right, listen. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-NO7. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.